Hi everyone, I'm not sure if you can hear me. I had some technical problems. Please jump on and let me know if you can hear me. Can anyone hear me at all? Hi, can you hear me guys? Welcome, awesome. I don't know what happened then, but thankfully we've got it all resolved. Oh dear, nothing like technology. Thank you everybody for joining me and letting me know that you guys can all hear me. Of course, nothing ever goes the way you plan when you try and go live. Paul will attest to that. He's had camera failures and everything live before. So welcome. Hello, Deirdre, Paul, Peter, Cherie, Lee, Kelly, Norma, Joanne, Zelia, Hunter, Kerry, Joanne again. Welcome to my live. You did not go deaf. It was just me. I've just decided I'm going to teach you guys how to craft with no sound. So you guys have to lip read and try and work it out on your own. Sorry. Alrighty. Thank you so much to you guys for your patience and the fact that, you know, I've had some of the technical difficulties. But yes, how is your week going so far? So I've had a pretty full-on week, very, very busy. And so I thought that I would do a really, really simple project that you guys can all do. It is so easy and yet so impactful. I'll see who else is here. Hi Dee, hi Fiona, hey Kerry. So I thought we'd just jump into it. It's not going to be a very long one. And I will show you a little bit of what we are planning, that's not even a word, what we are planning to make. Now, I think it's easy to show you, I can show you it here, but it's not that up close. So I'm going to just cut over to the overhead camera. So it's a little keyring fob. So as you can see here, it's just made out of faux leather. It's got a bit of glitteriness on the inside, which is something I didn't really show you guys in the photo that I took. Hi, Megan. So it's a really simple design, but I'm also going to work with one, and I'm very excited because I'm actually going to be using my foiling tool today. So I've used foiling a fair bit, but I haven't actually done it live. So knowing my luck, something will go wrong. However, hopefully you guys can be my good luck charm, and we're going to get this made in no time. Alrighty, so what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd start off with this amazing patterned faux leather. I'll just put it up close so you can see it. It's got some really nice eucalyptus leaves on it. And it's actually from Little Wombat & Co. I'll just bring it closer. Might help if I can get the camera shot. It's called eucalyptus leaves, so that's what this pattern is called. Hey Karen, hi Karen. So Kerry, they are amazing student gifts. But yes, so you do it for next year. They're so cheap to make as well. So I got the hardware for it. I've got some silver ones, and I've got some that are the darker shade. Now, I looked everywhere for this hardware, and the only place I could find it was on eBay. So I think it was roughly about $10 for 10 pieces. So I've got a variety here. Hi, the cousin crew, is it Berenice? So what we're going to do is we're going to do one using the eucalyptus leaves, and then we're going to foil on the other, but they're both going to be backed with some amazing glitter so that it creates this really nice sparkle. Like, no one looks at the inside, but it's great to have something just rather than just the plain white that it comes with. To show you guys exactly how easy this is, I'm actually using my Explore Air 2 because I want you guys to see that you don't need to have the maker to be able to cut the faux leather. So I'm going to open this baby up. I love my favorite color here. I do have the link. I couldn't get it onto this computer because my eBay is being a pain in the bum. However, It is called a key fob hardware, but I can send you the link and post it after the live. Janine, yeah, on my other live that I had, it had no sound. It was me, not you. Hi, Gail. Hi, Karen. So, alrighty. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by cutting this really pretty one here. Now, I'm going to jump over into Design Space because I have designed this just so you guys can see. Hi, Suzette. Alrighty, so I've called this Design Fobs, and it's so simple to make, you will just think that I'm crazy for even needing to show you how to make it. So I've created these long rectangles. Now, to fit the fobs that I purchased, I made them 0.95 inches wide by 9 inches long. Now, the reason for that is I didn't want them to have too long of a handle, and I really wanted to have them so that your hand could fit in them. But if you need yours a little bit longer, you can make them a bit longer. I just liked the length of this one for me. Yes, definitely more male for you, Kerry. So I'm just going to zoom out. I've already designed it. So I have one here designed to be for my foiling, one here for my faux leather, and then this bad boy is going to be my iron-on portion. So I'm going to duplicate that because I'm actually going to cut the iron-on twice. Now, I mean, and when I say twice, I'm cutting it so that it can go on the 2 different fobs that we're making. Thanks, Paul, for resharing. My goodness, maybe I shouldn't have sound on. I can't even speak. Alrighty, so what I've done here is I've selected a really nice draw design, and then I've changed it up in the line type to foil, and I'm foiling with the bold tip just so I can get a nicer crisp image on the faux leather. I really want it to show and shine, so I've made sure that that's done for foil. The rest of it all cuts, so we should be fine to go ahead and make it. So the first one we're going to cut, this will be our faux leather here. The second one will be the 2 pieces of the glitter, and then lucky last will be the foil. I'm going to move the foil one just out a little bit, just so I have some room to tape and not worry about spacing, mainly because when you're working with your faux leather, generally you put the pretty side down so that it's got something better to adhere to. In this case, because we're foiling on the top of it, we want to have the pretty side up. So I'm just moving it out just so we've got the space to foil for that one. And I'll come back up to the top. I'm going to hit continue. And let's see if I can pick I realized I just picked the wrong machine. Of course, I haven't set this machine up against this computer, so just give me one moment. I'm going to have to add the Bluetooth for it. So I'm just selecting this one now. Sorry for the delay. Won't be a moment to put my code in. Alrighty, so I'm actually going to hit cancel. I'm going to select a different machine because I realized I selected the wrong machine. So I'm going to select my Air. And of course I made this on my Maker, so I'm just changing it back to the Explore family. Tell you what, technology is not my friend today. Alrighty, so I've set this to, when it loads, I've set this to the settings I've got here. Now, because I have the dial turned to custom, it means it'll give me these options to select it. Now, the setting for this material is the, did I go past it? Sorry, I'm having trouble seeing my screen properly. I used the denim bonded setting. Hi Sharon, did I say that before? So when I use the denim bonded setting, the great thing about it is that it still just uses the fine point blade. So there's no need to change anything that you're working with in terms of what you would use in your machine. I'm just going to come over to the overhead and just show you how we prep the mat. So the mat I'm using today is going to be a purple mat, which is the strong grip mat. So just take off the carrier, and all I'm simply going to do is place it down pretty side on the mat. Now, because my design is longer than the width of this, I'm going to have to cut lengthwise down. And I always use my applicator, which is the brayer, just to make sure it's really adhered well. If you're worried or concerned, you can tape it down, but I haven't seen a need to do that yet. And I'm just simply going to load it into the machine. And over on my machine here, and then we just hit go. So whilst that's cutting, when it starts to cut, I'm going to open up my foil so that I can get into that and have it ready and prepared. Actually, I should actually prepare my iron-on first. Feel free to ask some questions. Tell me how your day was. So currently I'm going to be working with the glitter iron-on. Hey Erica. So I've just opened up the iron-on, and the first thing I like to do when this is finished is actually just give it a test, and that's simply by lifting it up from the corner, and I can see here that it is cut perfectly, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to unload the mat and remove the faux leather. So I still have plenty of faux leather left. And then I'll take my piece off that I need. So it's got a really nice pattern on it. Gorgeous. Now the next one we need is, we don't actually need the purple for the iron-on section of it. So I'm just going to grab out a green mat, which I have handy right beside me. So for this one, we don't actually need a large amount of the iron-on. Might help if I can find space here. I'm just going to open that up. And I've got my trimmer, which is my Cricut trimmer here, and of course nothing is handy for me. Oh, I'm so sorry that you've had a bad day, Zelia. I hope that the rest of your night gets better. Feel free to reach out to anyone if you just need to chat. We are always here for you. We're a nice group of family. So I'm just going to try and remove, no, I'll get that later. So I'm just going to place it down on my mat in the same direction that the material will cut. I'm going to get the brayer and give that a nice little brayer. And then I'll move this out of the way. I'm just going to quickly go over and just let you guys know, you do need to make sure you change the settings between the cuts. So because we started with denim bonded, we're going to have to change this and search for the iron-on substrates. So we're looking at glitter iron-on, and then done. Oh, Paul went shopping. That's amazing. Kerry's laying in bed with her dog. Lots of people went shopping today, I think. Lots of people in Melbourne got some freedom back, and they've been enjoying that freedom. So this is now going to cut the iron-on. So we made sure we've done this, and I'm actually going to turn on fast mode, because if it gives you the option for fast mode, it's definitely something that they definitely would like to see you do, because it will cut up to 2 times faster. So I'm just going to press the start button and come back to the overhead camera. So now that I've got my foil, I'm getting my foil ready. I'm just going to pop my faux leathers to the side. For anybody who's currently looking to find the faux leather, the foil or the foiling tip. Hot tip is that it's back online at Big W and will ship out from the 4th of November. So if you're looking to get, they've got every single sampler, they've got the large sheets as well. So if you're interested, jump on. Yes, Paul's very naughty for never doing fast mode. We'll have words later. So I'm just going to take my vinyl off. We'll read that in a moment. Because the important part, I'll just put it to the side, is that we're now going to do some foiling on our faux leather. So I'm just going to grab this and I'm just going to cut off a portion. I'm probably being super generous in my amount that I cut off, but I've just cut off 4 inches. I know it's only going to be 1 inch wide, but I'd rather have more than not enough. Alrighty, so I've just popped that back to the side. First step is that we need to place our faux leather onto the mat. So you can see here, unlike what I did with the eucalyptus, I'm actually placing it pretty side up. Now this is the Cricut faux leather. It is the peacock color, one of my favorites. And I'm actually going to use some gold foil on this one. So I'll just pull aside this and grab a sheet of the foil. I'm going to cut it down in size, and I probably shouldn't use these scissors, but I'm going to cut it down because I don't need it that big and I don't want to waste a full sheet. So just going to give it a little trim. So we're going to work with that size and we'll put the rest of this back. I keep my foil all in the packages that came in because it's easier to maintain and manage. And I'm going to just pop this here for a moment so I can get this out of the way. Way to go, Natalie. Stick everything to the mat. The only things I wouldn't suggest fast mode for is something really intricate. But if it's asking you for it and it's something that's not intricate, then go for it. Celia said, I was lucky when Paul told us about Craft Online, so she got all of the foil. Yeah, Paul's great at enabling people to buy all the foil. So I'm going to start foiling from here. You can see here I'm a little bit in. I know that I've placed it around that section there. So I'm just going to grab this tape now. I'm going to trim some of it down because I don't actually need to use a full side. So I've got a long bit here that I'm just going to place down onto there. I'm going to put this piece to the side because I'm actually going to use that on the ends, but I like to foil this side, that side, and then this ends. I don't like to foil, I just don't feel like I get it very taut if I don't foil in a, like stick it down in a certain order. So once again, popping the pieces left over there, pulling, you can see it's nice and taut. Karen loves the peacock color. It cuts so well, this stuff. I love it. I wish there was more available. So we've got it all nice and taut. What I do need to do is find my blade. So I actually have my foiling housing. At the moment it's got the medium blade in. So I'm going to put the one with the 3, which is the bold. It has 3 lines when it wants to focus. There we go, 3 lines. Give it a tap in. And all I do is open up the clamp, pull out my existing blade. I'll pop it in here underneath. And then pop this one in. It just drops straight into the clamp. With the foil, could you do names instead of a pattern on something like this? Definitely. I just, you would need to use a writing style font, not a regular one. You have to make sure you changed it to foil as well. Hi Willow, sorry that you couldn't hear me before. Hi Chris and Linda. Okay, so what I'm going to do is all I need to do. Now I will show you, because I've done this without even looking at Design Space, because the reality is I see this all the time. But if you come into Design Space, and what we need to do here is change it from glitter iron-on as the setting, and we just need to find the, where is that setting? Am I missing something here? I can't find the faux leather paper thin setting. I'm not sure why this is not allowing me to foil it. This is not normal. You should be able to cut your faux leather paper thin, and it's saying it's not a compatible setting. So, what to do in this instance? Let me see. So we don't have a compatible setting. Just going to cancel the cut for a moment. And I'm going to just delete out these two options. And I'm just going to see if changing the foil tip size makes a difference. Browse all settings. So it doesn't like the bold tip for the faux leather. It likes the medium. So I'm going to select that. Something I didn't know and I've just learnt. So I need to make sure that I load the foil transfer tool with the medium tip. So I've accidentally put the bold in, so I'm going to go and change that to the medium. No, Karen, that wasn't the issue. It wasn't letting me select this material. So obviously the bold tip, it doesn't like doing bold tip on the faux leather paper thin, but it will do the medium. So it isn't just a maker only option. I've got it to work now, guys. So it can be done on the Explore Air 2. It was just the setting of that type of tip. So now I've got it all set up. And then I'm going to load it up. So we'll transition over here. So I'm just going to load it up. We're working with the medium tip now instead of what I had originally planned. Alrighty, so first things first is that it's going to foil first, and then coming up it's telling me that it will ask me to change to the fine. Actually, I should just get the fine out ready because I will need to place that mid-cut. Alrighty, so we're going to start that foiling. While that's being done, I'm going to trim down and weed my glitter. Really shouldn't be using fabric scissors with iron-on, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm just going to weed this one. If my weeding tool would like to be my friend. You can use washi tape to take down the foil. It comes with enough foil for all the sheets that you have, but if you have run out of the tape that comes with it, you can definitely use washi tape. Just something that's really, it will hold it but is not too sticky that it will ruin it. So definitely a great question. Definitely problem solved. Yeah, great tip that we all learnt, I think. And look, it makes sense that the pressure behind the bold tip might be too much for the faux leather. Maybe particularly for the Explore models, it might be different for the Maker. So I'm going to, whilst that's cutting, I'm going to just jump over, and I've got my Easy Press Mini, which is what I'm going to use to apply the, the iron-on. So the iron-on part is the first step that we are going to work with. Now I'm going to turn it up to medium temperature. So you just press the button twice. So I'll wait for that to heat up. Kerry, I can't say for sure if you can use other foils. Unfortunately, I only use the Cricut foils, and I know that they have been made specifically for pressure activation. So I've heard some people say that they have used the other foils, but I don't want to give you any misleading information about what can and can't be used. Hey DLD 2005, just joined, was busy with your daughter. Okay, so unfortunately I haven't had a chance to test the faux leather with the Joy. I know that it was my to-do list, but I've had a really busy day and didn't get a chance. But I will do it as soon as I get off. I will do a tester for you. I promise, I promise, I promise. Just to see if the faux leather from Little Wombat & Co. works. So what I'm going to do here is I'm literally just going to line up my iron on the back of the faux leather. And it's at temperature now, so you can see it's at temperature. And you just want to go slow and make sure it lines itself up the whole way. You don't want it to be off center. So just be very slow. So Zelia said she tried the other foils but needed more pressure on cardstock. Good to know. But like I said, I'm not working with the other foils because, I mean, there was no point for me to buy any other foils. I didn't have any other branded machines when I first got the foil kit. So I'm going to work with what I have, which is the Cricut foil, and at least I know that it's going to work each time. So just ironing on here the glitter. I've just gone really slow till it's tacked. Once again, once it's on, let it cool down for a little bit on a colder surface. Good news. Oh, that's so good to hear, Erica, that your design that disappeared yesterday has now reappeared. I told you it was odd. So I'm just giving this to cool down. So I'm just letting that cool down just a tad. And then I'll try and peel it from the corner. Alrighty, so now if I go back to my machine, and I'll just scooch that over, we get a little warning here that says, carefully do not unload your mat and carefully remove the foil, and then place the fine tip in your machine. Alrighty, so my foiling didn't go as well as planned. It's not as bright as I'd hoped, but that's alright. It's only a light design on there. I'm just going to replace my fine tip. Once again, when you work with lights, nothing ever goes the way you want it, and all I have to do is press start. So you can see here it didn't foil very bright, but that's okay. The main thing is we're trying it. Awesome. So we'll just wait for this to cut. Now, I have tested this on the Maker and it does give me better setting quality. So I'll show you this one now that it's unloaded. So we're just going to unload that, take it off the mat. Now you can see the pressure it's put on. It's actually left an indentation in the mat from the foiling. I don't know if you can see that. but it's got the foil design in it. And the foiling itself hasn't come through all that well, so it's kind of hard to see, but you'll be able to see better when I take a better photo. So when I take a photo, we'll have a better look at that. And then of course I'm working with a dark backing. We just line this up like we did. I've never had to run mine through twice though, so that's interesting that you've had that results, Lee. So I'm just going to give it this iron-on effect. Wait for it to cool down. While it's cooling down, I can't answer that about running through twice, Suzette, because I don't run mine through twice. So I can't give you that exact answer. But whilst we're waiting, so I've made these the same size, but what actually happens is the faux leather shrinks just a little bit. So I'm just going to trim the edge where the glitter runs over. But other than that, that's pretty perfect. Had just a little bit of leakage over the top. And then all we simply do is grab our hardware and work out exactly where we want to place it, lined up. So I know that a lot of people use mallets. I wasn't a fan of doing a mallet online. Peacock wig gold, foil and glitter backing on flick, definitely. So I actually just use pliers just with my fixing, and I just kind of push it down to start with, and then just down from the sides, because I don't like the idea of using a mallet, especially on a live. So there's nothing worse than you guys being annoyed by the noise of me bashing something, and it won't be bashing my husband because he's at work today. So I'm just going to close these just till I get and we just close it from both sides. Just give it a bit of pressure. Awesome, Norma. Glad to hear that you've pre-ordered some foils. So I'm just giving it a bit of pressure. And then, lo and behold, we've got our finished keyring fob. So, yeah, poor hubby. What, that he doesn't get bashed tonight, or that he has to work? I'm sorry if my camera's really pixelated, guys. My machine's going crazy with fans. I'm not sure why it's running so hard. I'm so sorry if you can't see this. So I'm just peeling off the one that we have foiled, but like I said, it'll show up so much nicer in my photos than anything I can show you overhead camera. So I'm just trimming off the overflow of the foil, sorry, of the glitter iron-on, just because it was hard to get it completely lined up. And the faux leather actually shrinks a little bit when you apply heat to it, just so you guys know. Either way, my poor hubby. Oh no, is it really terribly pixelated? It's definitely this camera. I'm so sorry. I can come over here just so you guys can see it all. But it's not going to show up. You're not going to get the overhead. I'll take some really good photos. No worries, Zelia. So once again, you just take your fixings. Okay, so my hardware is from eBay. I'm going to post a link. I couldn't share it. It wouldn't let me edit it, and I've had a lot of problems with technology today, as anyone who tried to join can see. Yeah, so it's definitely the camera I'm using. I'm working on getting better utilities. I need Paul to give me a lesson on how to use my camera. So he's a lot better at this stuff than me. So once again, I'm just using the hardware, pushing it all together, but I'll show you guys an amazing photo once this is all squished in and once the live is finished. I can't really take the photo whilst I'm on live. But yes, it's all from eBay. They work out to be about $1 a fob. And then we're all finished, but you can't really see the foil from there. Like, it's not showing up super because of the lights in the room. So I'll take some amazing photos. I'm sorry that this was technically challenged today. I appreciate your patience with me whilst I try and figure out how to live my life. And this is what my life looks like, a creative mess. So if you see here is all my rubbish. I was not cleaning as I go. But we've made two really gorgeous keyring fobs, really basic, and as Kerry said, great for student gifts, and very unique because you can pick patterns to go with it. You could just do foiled faux leather. The world's your oyster. So I'm going to take some lovely photos for you guys, but before I let you guys go, this is the important thing. Thank you, Chris. We love doing this stuff for you guys. So, you know, we'd love to share all of it so that you guys can feel inspired. Definitely rewatch Yvonne. So the thing that we wanted to know, so I wanted to reiterate, the Big W has the foil now back in, so it'll be able to be dispatched from Wednesday next week. So if you're interested in getting any of the foiling tips, or if you want to get the foil packs which have the samples in it, then that's where you need to go, because they're definitely online right now. But there is a little bit of announcement. Paul mentioned in his live last week. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but there's this lovely little competition happening inside Cricut for Australians. Now, I'm not going to fully let you guys know exactly what is entitled, because there is going to be a post at about 8 o'clock tonight on, 8 o'clock New South Wales time, in the group, which will have all of the details of it. But what you need from me in this live is I want you to go to Little Wombat's website, so www.littlewombat.co, and you need to tell me in the post that's going to be announced in the group, you need to tell me the name of your favorite faux leather from her website. So that is your little code from this week. If you weren't watching Paul's live from last week, you need a code from him. So you need to go back to his channel, Scissors Paper Paul, and you need to watch his to find out his code, if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So he's asked you a question in last week's live. I've asked you a question. So my question is, name your favorite faux leather from Little Wombat's collection. And then when the post goes live at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock for some of you guys in Queensland or wherever you are, when the post goes live, make sure you jump on and you answer it. We know that everyone's answers are going to be unique, but to be in the running, don't tell anybody else what the questions are. Make them come and find it, because you will get a top priority if you are the one that's done the legwork. So if anybody else is like, oh, tell me what the questions are, don't tell them. Make them come to our lives and see what the question is. And then from there, we hope there's going to be amazing prizes, but we hope you guys win. We'd love to give everybody a prize, but unfortunately, we would make the company bankrupt. So next week, Paul will be live. We've got one more live before we have a small break for Craftathon. So next week, Paul is going to do a live on his world famous, or at least Australia famous, Christmas cards. So every year he does a live on some new funky Christmas cards he's designed up. I can't wait to see what he comes up with, because I have no idea. He's told me he's got these amazing ideas and I need to see it into practice. So nonetheless, thank you so much to everybody who joined me. I'd show you the overhead camera of what the images look like, but it's all pixelated and I just don't want you guys being frustrated with my technology. Definitely Chris, definitely Linda, go and try and be the winner. You too, Erica. We just can't wait to see what you guys do. And, you know, if you happen to be on Little Wombat's website and you find something you like, add it to the cart. I'm sure she would appreciate your hospitality, I guess you would call it. Not hospitality. She would appreciate your order. She's a lovely lady and, you know, doing her best to bring out something really unique. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys... Oh, thank you, Linda. We try to complement each other really well. We try to really work together. So that's what teamwork is all about. No worries, Charlene. Thank you. Thanks, Karen. I can't wait to see your faux key leather fobs. So Yvonne, the website is www.littlewombat.co, so just CO at the end. If you are not sure and you can't find the website, you can just wait another 15 minutes and the website link will be on the post that Paul will be posting. So definitely can't wait to see what you guys do. Definitely can't wait to see all your entries for the competition. And and if you're not already part of Cricut for Australians, make sure you come over because that's the only way you can win. It's going to be live in Cricut for Australians. That's the only place and only way you can jump and enter the competition. Yes, Christmas cards with a twist. Paul is amazing at any cards, but yes, he was going to do a twist. So when he starts his video, I want to see him doing this. And that's the only dancing you're going to get from me. So anyway, guys, have an amazing night, and I'll see you we'll see some of you on Saturday for our craftathon cutting. Otherwise, I will see you in a couple of weeks.